West Ascension Consolidated Drainage District is called to order January 7th. And our invocation, I will do the invocation, if you don't mind.
No.
Dear Lord, I ask you to bless this great state. I ask us to bless this great parish and all Ascension district, drainage district community. And oh Lord, keep us safe. Hope that the river don't rise over the elevation, the levees. And oh Lord, I ask you to keep everyone here to make the right decision for our constituent. Thank you, oh Lord. Amen. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Roll call. I'm present. Our newly councilman, Mr. Bill Dawson, is present. We also have our West Bank DPW manager, Mr. Craig Anderson, and our attorney and secretary. Ms. Kim Bro wasn't available, so now we're moving on to item number 3, is accepting the minutes of November the 5th from 2015. And, okay, yeah.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
I second that. No objection. Accepting the minutes is approved. Accepting the minutes for December the 17th, 2015 for a special meeting.
I move to accept the minutes of December 17th.
I second that. No objection. Minutes accepted. Item number 4, Cal Street. That's my item in me. Craig, I know, I guess I'm asking you because I think you measured out and you had came up with some material.
Yeah, some prices for the posts and wire.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have it with me.
All right.
It to Ms. Kim.
All right, but
she wasn't going to be here today.
okay, but we do have a price for it, and that was to actually redig out the ditch to reduce, just to bring you up to speed, Mr. Dawson. We have a house in this area here, one or two houses, one house for sure that flood currently, and we're trying to relieve some pressure on it, so we're going to put some cover across the road so we can balance out the water. And on the other side of the street, to do that, when that water get over there, it have a fence line for some cows, and the property owner have agreed to let us trim the trees and redo the fence and then all that to dig that ditch out, to clear it out and everything. So that's where we are with that, Craig. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna get.
You talked to the Fernandez too?
The Fernandez, yes, I had talked to one side of the family. Okay. I have to talk to about 2 more. Okay, but so far that don't seem to be a problem. Okay. All right.
So do we need any action on that?
No action on it, just update on it. Item number 5, Lemonville Cutoff Bridge boxcar update. Currently, we're putting a delay on this boxcar because of the levee, and why we on this subject, this boxcar and the levee, the river rising, the water rising. If you don't mind, I'd like to bring Mr. Rick Weber to bring us up to date, the schedule on that. Mr. Rick Weber, OEP Director.
Mr. Chairman, I appreciate it. Just if you can look at the documents that I gave you, the first one is a River Watch document, and that's a document that we put out on social media as well as through Channel 21. It's reached about 10,000 residents so far, so it's doing its job of trying to get the information out to the public as best we can. Very simple format, very simple message that we're putting out. It's effective. Why are the river levels rising? It's rising because warmer than normal temperatures happen across the Midwest, and normally the precipitation would fall as snow, but it didn't do that. It fell as rainfall. So now we're getting this water that's coming down the Mississippi Basin that's causing high water 5 months earlier than it would normally cause in our area. So that's the root cause of why it's doing what it's doing. But what's being done is that my office, as well as other local government agencies, are coordinating with all the state, local, and federal partners. We're getting reports every day from all 3 levee districts that are in the parish We're looking at any hot spots that we may have, like sandballs or any seepage at all. Right now, the integrity of the levees look good. You know, it's the normal things that we normally see through every high water event. But we're all coordinating with all the state, local, and federal partners, and the levee inspections are being conducted daily, jointly between the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers and all 3 levee districts in the parish. When I left the office this afternoon, the gauge reading in Downsonville was at 27.24. That was the reading when I left. They're projecting it to crest at 32 feet, and that was projected around the 20th of January. In 2011, when we had the high water event in 2011, it crested at 32.48, so you can see the difference. Now, the lowest spot on our levees is on the west bank. It's around 35 feet, around A-bend. And with that water level at 32.48, we only had about 2-3 feet of freeboard left in the levee. So at that point, we had a little bit of difficulty communicating with the Corps of Engineers of exactly when their thresholds were, when they were going to open the Morganza. So we took the protective action of putting out ESCO baskets just in case the water got that high. I don't recommend doing that this year. As of now, the Corps of Engineers communicating well with us. We've already got the dates of when they're going to open the Bonnie Care, which really has no impact on us. It only helps south of the spillway towards New Orleans. The Morganza spillway is the one that impacts us. It reduces that water level. And right now, tentatively, it's scheduled to open on the 11th when it reaches a certain threshold, 57 foot in elevation at the spillway, and 1.5 million cubic feet per second of flow. That's when they'll open that up. We're coordinating with all the river traffic, with all the ports, and again, opening the spillway is going to be the key factor in reducing the water levels here in Ascension Parish. If you look at the second document that I gave you, this is a situation report that my office is putting out every 48 hours. Really comprehensive. I'm not going to take you through everything in it. I just want to highlight a couple of areas. If you look at page 2, that first paragraph, everything that you see in red is changes from the previous situation report.
Okay.
So if you look at page 2, January 18th is river crest in Downsonville at 32 feet. However, when they open the Morganza, it's going to open it up before it reaches that crest. So we should have that buffer in there before it even gets to the point where it was in 2011. Throughout the situation report, you see the graphics. If you look at page 6, it's got the graph of what the river is going to do over the next few days, and also that paragraph that you see in red on top of it, the emergency rules that were put in place by the state. I've got a copy of this attached to the back of the situation report, so you can review at your convenience. But this is what the residents should be aware of, is that they're going to they're facing some pretty hefty fines if they drive on a levee, ride four-wheelers on a levee, do any of these things that you see within this law. So these are the emergency rules that have been put in place over the last couple of days. On page 7 is the spillway information and what the thresholds for those spillways are. Page 8 is all the parishes that have declared an emergency. We haven't declared an emergency for Ascension Parish. We're prepared to do so if need be, and we'd only declare a state of emergency should we need state or federal funding. Right now, we have enough resources locally to handle what's happening. And then the rest of it is what's happening in Region 2 parishes that surround us, what actions they're taking, and then the emergency rules and some marine safety bulletin information from the U.S. Coast Guard. So right now, we're monitoring it very stringently. We'll try to keep all of you and the council informed as best we can on a 48-hour basis through situation reports. This will come through you through email, working public outreach through social media and the mainstream media as best we can. And if any of the residents has any questions at all, they're always free to call my office at 225-621-8360, and my staff will help. Subject to your questions, this concludes the briefing.
Can I ask
You have, Mr. Dawson have a question, I also have.
Okay.
based on the 32 feet, is that based on the Morganza being open, or is it?
That's based on the Morganza being closed. So the 32 feet was the projected crest without the Morganza being open.
So what do we expect if they open that?
I expect it, if it continues to rise when they open it, they're tentatively for the 11th around 30 feet. So we're looking at 5 to 6 feet of freeboard in the levee at its lowest spot in the parish.
Okay, thanks.
My question, you say something about the fines, and I just wanted to make sure that I see the results of, in fines here is up to $10,000, I mean, it start off at $10,000 fine, and it can goes up, subject up to $20,000?
Yes.
So the public, I mean, four-wheelers and all those guys that ride on that levee right now should understand, those fines are serious fines.
There's serious fines, and each levy district has its own police force, and they will enforce it. So just make sure that they stay away from the levees, don't ride on the levees, whether it's a pickup truck or a four-wheeler. The only people that they're authorizing to be there is industry, should they need to get back towards some of their infrastructure. Right now, the public needs to stay away from the infrastructure as much as they can. Don't dig on a levee, especially if you live close to it. Don't dig within 1,200 feet of the toe. You know, just leave the levees alone and let them do what they're designed to do.
Appreciate it, Rick.
Okay.
Really. Thank you for the update. All right, moving on to item number 6. St. James Ascension drainage project to drain out there. I don't have any update on that. None. All right. So we'll keep that on there, Ms. Peggy. Item number 7, Ms. Brewer's not here, so Craig, any information? You have any?
We've been doing some maintenance on some ditches around here, and I noticed I was on vacation, and my guys had a little trouble in St. Jude, and they had flood, and we working on trying to get that ditch that was behind it. I got to get with the landowner. It's hard to catch him because they say you leave early in the morning, you don't come back till late in the evening. So I left a card on his door to see if he's gonna give me a call back so we could get in there.
Okay. And
then he have barbed wire fence and posters and stuff too. We gonna have to take down if he let us get in there. We have to put that back up.
Legal, I just say if I'm right, if I'm wrong. If this board dedicate that waterway a major drainage right of way, we have the legal rights to take down the fence, put the fence back up, and have a servitude only, correct?
You have that access servitude.
Access.
And you have that, you have to go through the process of doing that, advertising and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you do it that way, you do have that, if you're responsible for any damage you do to his property, it's not, all of this is an access servitude.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't give you the right to do anything except access to a current drainage ditch. And within the drainage servitude, you can't make that your drainage servitude, that's what you have.
Okay. But whenever we need to
Yes.
do major drainage,
Yes. If you
Service.
declare a major- If it's a major drainage servitude.
okay. All right. Now, because we're having this problem, my next problem is, we've been having this problem with this same home for how long?
Wow, now.
You know, what liability that falls on us?
If it's his problem causing the drainage, it's his problem. It's really his, if him not allowing us, it's the drainage ditch that we have.
No, it's the homeowner where the drainage is not efficient enough. I'm assuming, huh, Craig?
Yeah, but I don't know if it's, the landowner who we have to get permission to get in there, he asking if that's his, that if he.
Do we have a drainage servitude?
So the home that is constantly flooded,
Yeah,
it's not on that property, but the water goes through that.
yeah, the water goes, the ditch is behind that property, the canal.
But the home between the drainage and that canal is constantly flooding on that.
I mean, it's not our responsibility. We're not absolutely liable because of that. I'd have to see the details of it and everything like that. The issue is, if there's a drainage servitude and someone's not allowing us to go clean it out, then it's on them, not on us.
So, will they have a drainage servitude with that?
I don't know, since this rain, I'm always hearing about this house is flooding, and y'all going out at the middle of the night or something, and I'm pretty sure my new councilman, Mr. Dawson, has already got his phone call.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
I'm not that familiar with it.
There's a house in St. Jude that floods, the drainage runs along the back of it and runs to where this box culvert is that we were just talking about. And there's a fence, in the ditch that the box culvert is in, that prevents these guys from getting back there to to do the work necessary to get to drain this guy's house that lives in St. Jude.
Well, this is the issue. If we have a drainage servitude and he's blocking the drainage servitude, he's the responsible party. I don't know how we get him from one ditch to the other one without a drainage servitude. It may be a natural drain, and we may be able to, then he would, if he's blocking the natural drain, he's responsible. Now, the problem is we're trying to clear up the problem so it doesn't occur. So,
Right.
we can't go on his land if we don't have a servitude, or if we have to get a servitude, if we have to declare it a major drainage channel, we can do that, but we've gotta go through the process of doing that. But I need information on that. I just can't say we gotta have a little information on that.
All right, and I guess, we'll start getting that information, Bill, with, Mr. Anderson and the West Side Coordinator.
And I'm still trying to get in contact with him.
Yeah,
Okay?
but I mean, every time we have a little rain, look like this house has been constantly being flooded out.
Is it a ditch? We have a drainage ditch, canal?
Well, if it was a ditch, this ditch is what, about 10 foot wide, 15 foot
I call
wide?
it a canal, but the canal is blocked by a fence. That's what I'm,
No, the canal is not, but the road that runs alongside of it is blocked.
You'll have to see the
I
picture
have
there.
to see it. That's hard for me to, in the abstract, to get an idea, but we can get some pictures over and send it to you. I can, give a better opinion then.
Okay. All right. Mr. Anderson, you have anything else?
That's pretty.
All right. Mr. Dawson, do you have any information you'd like to share or input?
No.
All right, then we're moving on to item number 8, date and time of the next board meeting. Ms. Bagan? February 4th.
February 4th.
All right. Mr. Dawson, you must have the honor of doing item number 9.
Move to adjourn?
Second. Meeting adjourned.